I'm just someone who is sharing the information that I didn't have before coming to Japan. I don't work with the team that is giving the scholarship, or I'm not connected in any way to the scholarship. Hi beautiful people, welcome to my channel. My name is Nelly. If this is your first time here, welcome. So in today's video we'll just be answering questions about the MEXT scholarship. So I've gotten a lot of questions about the MEXT scholarship. If you have any questions for me, please put it on Facebook. So there's a page on Facebook for this channel. It's called Nelly's Life. Please ask the questions in any of the posts on that page, or the post that relates to your question, because when you ask there and I respond to the question publicly, everybody gets to see the answer, and then people can learn from your question and learn from the answer. So I have a lot of questions. I wrote them down on a sheet of paper. See, front and back. I wrote them down because I did not want to be going through my iPad and just searching. So I wrote them down to save time. So let's get right into the Q&A. So the very first one is, how legit is this scholarship? I've gotten scammed a lot of times, so I worry about how legit this scholarship is. So this scholarship is not sponsored by an individual. It's sponsored by the Japanese Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science and Technology. So what that means is that it's not an individual that can change their mind, or that can tell you that I don't like this particular group of people, so I'm not going to give them. No, it's by a ministry in Japan. And I've been saying in all my videos, like, you should check with the Japanese embassy in your country. If this scholarship wasn't legit, you will not see it on the Japanese embassy page of the different countries. So that's just a sign to show you how legit it is, because if it wasn't legit, then the Japanese embassy would not associate with that kind of scholarship. Like I've been telling you since, contact the Japanese embassy in your country. Call them, email them, text them, fax them. Just ask them how legit this scholarship is, and they'll tell you that it's very much legit. So this scholarship is very much legit. It's not something that you have to be worried about. It's not something that you have to be scared. As a matter of fact, they don't ask you for any money. The second question says, are you a student advisor for the MEXT scholarship? Are you a MEXT scholar? See, I got this question a lot, and then I'm just like, why? Why are people asking me this question? Okay, let me put it out here. First of all, what's the question? I'm not a student advisor for MEXT scholarship. I'm not a student advisor for any scholarship. I'm not a student advisor for any university. I'm not a student advisor by profession. I'm not a freelance student advisor. And also, I am not a MEXT scholar, or I am not an ex-MEXT scholar. No. I'm just someone who is sharing the information that I didn't have before coming to Japan, basically. So if I had this kind of information, then I would have used it. But then, to be quite honest, I didn't have anyone telling me about these scholarships and giving me step-by-step process on how to apply for the scholarship. I don't work with the team that is giving the scholarship, or I'm not connected in any way to the scholarship. I'm just someone who knows about the scholarship based on the fact that I live in Japan. So I decided to use my platform to talk about the scholarship, so that people who are interested can apply for the scholarship, get it, come to study in Japan. So that's just it. Nothing more to that. So question number 3 says, do I have to go to the embassy to get the forms? No, you don't have to go to the embassy to get the forms. Each and every video that I've made before this one, I've always told you that in the description box you can get the link to the forms. So no, you don't have to go. I'll still put the link to the forms in the description box of this video, so that you can check if you're looking for the forms. The next one is, I am not eligible for this scholarship due to my age. What do I do? So I had this question from a lot of people, even people for the undergraduate degree, who said they were a bit older than the age that was specified. And then I got a couple of people also asking regarding the research category, saying that their age was more than what the scholarship was looking for. I'm currently researching for scholarships that are open to people who are a bit older than the age range that this scholarship specified. And the moment I see it, trust me, I'm going to drop the video on this channel. Like, I'm not even going to waste time. I'll just make a video about it, so that as many people as possible can apply for it. Please stay tuned so that you don't get to miss out when the content drops. The next one says, I was born in 1988. Do I qualify for the graduate program? The graduate program says 1987, so you qualify. Yes. It says 1987, so sure, you qualify. How do I find the names of the professors and the universities? I got this one also from a lot of graduate students. So on Facebook, I posted a link to universities in Japan. So if you're not following my Facebook page, that's why I suggest that you follow the Facebook page, because from time to time I post links that depend on the questions that I get. So I posted a link, so you can just click that link and then it's going to give you a list of universities. So you have some public, some private. So on the page I was more towards public as opposed to private, not because there's anything wrong with private, but because in public universities you see many more foreign students as opposed to in private universities. So that's the reason. I just want you to be in an environment where you have a lot of foreign students as opposed to being in an environment where you have just a handful. So that's why I posted the public more than the private. And then so from that list of universities, so you click the university you're interested in, and then from there you can find the department that you have interest in, and then you go through the list of the professors. Whichever professor interests you, you contact the professor and then you express your interest. The contact has to do with you sending your CV, send your CV, send your transcript, and then you just explain that you are applying for MEXT, and then you're contacting them so that you can do research under their supervision, and then that's all. So that's it. So yes, finding the names of the professor, you go through the university. So when you know the university, you know the department you're interested in, then you can find the professor that does the research you want to do. If you're still unclear, please leave me a message about that. Can I send someone to submit my documents for me? To be honest, I don't know about this. I mean, it's not completely it has not been stated in any of the documents that you must go there by yourself. So I would suggest that if you have that in mind, maybe you should call the Japanese embassy in your country just to ask them if it's possible, so that at least you're on the safest possible side, as opposed to maybe sending someone and then they say, oh, you had to be there in person, or maybe you even going and then you realize that there was nothing special that was done. So if you're thinking of doing that, call the embassy so that they can tell you if it's possible or not. The next question says, what if I want to proceed to master's after finishing my bachelor's degree? Of course you can. I mean, bachelor's degree, so you can go to master's, you can go to PhD. Like, there's no restriction that if you start with bachelor's degree, when you finish you just have to go home, or if you come with master's, when you finish you just have to go home. No. So most people who even come with bachelor's, they progress to master, and then from there some decide to work after masters, or others continue to PhD. So there's no restriction. If you come here for masters, you can progress to PhD, or if you come here for bachelor's, you can progress. Nothing stops you. What do I attach to the email I'll be sending to my professor? Okay, you attach your CV and your transcript. I have not taken TOEFL or IELTS before. Can I still apply? Of course. This scholarship doesn't state that you must have any language proficiency test certificate before you apply. So if you don't have IELTS or TOEFL, don't worry. It's not a requirement for the scholarship. So just proceed with your application. I'm sure the reason why this person asked the question is because of the part that asked for your score of those, your test score from this test. It's not a compulsory part, so don't worry about it. You can just keep that part and proceed to the next question. I've read that if you don't know Japanese, you may not be awarded the scholarship. How true is what I read? Absolutely untrue. I have a video with my friend Jerome that I did few weeks ago. I'm going to link it in the description box so that if you've not watched it, you can watch it. Jerome came here through MEXT, came here as a MEXT scholar, and then initially he came to do masters, but as he puts it, his professor was probably very impressed with him, or he had a different agenda. The professor made him to do a PhD instead. So instead of doing masters, he just moved from bachelor straight to PhD. So Jerome knew no word of Japanese. So you should really watch it if you're really worried about this Japanese issue. Knowing Japanese is not a requirement for this scholarship, to be honest. So next one says, I currently live in Japan. I wish to find out if I can still apply for the scholarship. So this scholarship doesn't restrict you from applying only when you are outside of Japan. I mean, there's a part that they say that you should consider that if you're coming from another country which is not your home country, then your flight ticket is not going to be paid. So that's just telling you that this scholarship is open. But the only problem that I have you applying from Japan is because in Japan we have immigration bureaus. So I don't know if the immigration bureau handles this kind of thing. So I would suggest that you contact the JASO office in Japan to ask them, like, how do you submit your documents, because I don't know how you're going to do that. How do I fill the placement preference form? Okay, so for the placement preference form, you have to write, I think, the name of the university, the name of the major, and then the name of the professor, and then the rest of the information at the top is just your basic information. So far, these are the questions that I've gotten regarding the scholarship. Most of the questions were like how to apply, so we've treated that already in a series of videos, so there was no point talking about that. So thank you so much for staying tuned with me. See you in the next video. Goodbye.